In this special moment, we witnessed Jungkook take charge in a way that left us all speechless. Although he's the youngest in the group, his demeanor completely shifts when it comes to protecting Jimin, demonstrating that nothing is more important to him than Jimin's well-being. Amidst a tense situation with the other members present, Jungkook stood firm and stood up for Jimin with unwavering seriousness. While Jimin remained silent, Jungkook took charge, asserting that no one could disregard the person he loves and cares for so deeply. What's most striking is the confidence with which Jungkook acts in front of his hyungs, even when Tae'S tries to argue or continue the discussion. Jungkook simply intervenes and ends the argument with "we didn't know," making it clear that he was in complete control of the situation and wouldn't allow any more trouble for Jimin. It's incredible to see how even the staff and the other members stood by, saying nothing. No one tried to interfere or stop him, because everyone respects Jungkook's protective role with Jimin, letting him handle things his way. These details reveal the deep trust and loyalty that binds them as a couple. It's not just a friendly gesture, it's the reaction of someone who feels the need to shield the other person at all times. There's something that reveals a lot about them when we see them in their most relaxed moments, especially when they wake up. It's not just that they share the same room out of obligation, but the way they cross all the physical barriers that normally exist between other people. There's no shyness or distance between them, and it's clear that being close is the most natural thing in the world for both of them. Seeing how they seek each other out first thing in the morning shows us that they've built a space where only the two of them understand their way of loving and playing without anything getting in their way. The way they interact in bed is very direct and full of emotion, because one of them jumps on top of the other without a second thought. There's no sign of discomfort, on the contrary, they have fun teasing each other, provoking each other, and laughing as they get tangled up in the covers. The other responds in the same way, returning the touches, holding on tight, and playing in a very physical way that shows how much they need to be close. Those moments when they throw themselves down and hug each other upon waking show us that for Jimin and Jungkook, there are no limits when it comes to being together and enjoying each other's company. It is precisely this naturalness and lack of inhibition that distinguishes a real couple from any other relationship. The fact that they feel so comfortable sharing their personal space, touching and playing with each other from the very first second of the day is a sign that many people cannot ignore. From the very beginning of this scene, we can see something we love. Jimin was already leaning confidently on Jungkook's shoulder. This happened long before everyone started laughing, confirming that they're always in their own little world of comfort. If we look closely, we can clearly see how Jimin looks for any opportunity to put his hand on Jungkook. Although he did it very subtly so as not to draw attention, for many of us who pay attention to their every move, it's something that's quite obvious. These Jikook moments never fail, because they always show us that need they both have to touch and feel close to one another. It's not something that happens by chance, it's a habit they have that demonstrates how well they get along. Seeing Jimin constantly seeking this contact with Jungkook makes us understand that for him, Jungkook is his safe haven. Many people realize that this way of acting is a very clear sign of their relationship, since they don't need anyone to tell them what to do, they simply seek each other out because they feel happy being together like this, wherever they are. The way Jimin snuggles up next to Jungkook shows us that their bond is very deep and that they always prefer to be together. It's incredible to see how, no matter what's happening around them, they always find the time for that physical contact that characterizes them so much. For us, seeing Jimin leaning on Jungkook is proof that their friendship and affection are the most important things in their lives. The moment a problem arises, Jungkook doesn't hesitate for a second to come to Jimin's defense with tremendous energy. He immediately cuts off any comments, making it crystal clear to everyone that no one has permission to touch or bother his favorite person. We can see how Jungkook always acts very protectively when it comes to Jimin, demonstrating that he is his priority above all else. This attitude of Jungkook's is something many people recognize as proof of their unique bond, as he is always willing to stand up for him without a second thought and with utmost seriousness. This way of acting shows us a very real and direct protective possessiveness. We all know that these actions are irrefutable proof that a very deep bond exists between them, one that no one can break. Jungkook always puts Jimin first and makes sure he is well taken care of at all times, demonstrating his absolute loyalty. Many Jikook fans know that if someone messes with Jimin, they're automatically messing with Jungkook, because he'll always defend him no matter what. Ultimately, what's clearest is that Jungkook will always be Jimin's protector and will never leave him alone when facing problems. It's incredible to see the confidence with which Jungkook acts to make Jimin feel safe and respected by everyone else. Many people admire Jungkook's courage because it shows that his relationship with Jimin is the most precious thing he has. What happened at the concert was incredible, because it gave us a crystal clear glimpse into Jimin's feelings. At first, Jimin was on one side of the stage, a little apart from the others, but suddenly he was overcome with emotion and started jumping for joy. What many of us noticed was that, even though the other 6 members were all together, Jimin could have sat with any of them to be part of the group, but he didn't. He had plenty of space to be with the others, but his gaze and his steps had only one destination, the exact spot where Jungkook was waiting for him. That moment was a true revelation for those of us who love Jikook, because Jimin didn't hesitate for a second and went straight to Jungkook, no matter what. When he reached him, the energy shifted completely, and he started dancing right there, close to him, showing that this is his favorite place in the world. Many people who watched the video realized that Jimin sought out that intimate space in the middle of the stage because being close to Jungkook comes naturally to him, leaving the rest of the group aside just to share that moment with him. The most touching thing about all of this is seeing how Jimin didn't even try to hide his desire to be with Jungkook. Being on stage in front of thousands of people can be stressful, but for Jimin, the solution is simply to run to Jungkook and stay there by his side. It's an undeniable fact. With all his bandmates nearby, he chose to cross the entire venue to dance with Jungkook. In the new episode of Run BTS 2.0, it became abundantly clear that Jimin and Jungkook have an enormous need to be close. Many of us who watched the entire episode noticed that not even 10 seconds go by without them seeking some kind of physical contact. Every time the camera focuses on them, they're already next to each other or holding hands, as if a magnet keeps them together. What we all love most is that these interactions aren't just one-off occurrences, they're repeated throughout the entire show. Every time they finish an activity or are resting, they always end up hugging or holding hands. Many people noticed that this inability to separate for even a second is what makes their relationship so special to the fandom. It's incredibly moving to see how they seek each other out to feel close, and that unique chemistry they share is what makes every scene of them on Run BTS so important to those of us who support them. In the end, seeing Jimin and Jungkook always end up close together is the best part of the whole video. Many people say this is the most authentic proof of their affection, because it's clear they feel comfortable and happy being so close. The fact that they always try to hold hands or hug in front of everyone confirms that their connection is real and very deep. It's something the public celebrates immensely, because seeing them so close and inseparable shows us that Jimin and Jungkook are, without a doubt, the couple who radiate the most love in every moment. There's a certain kind of moment between them that's so clear it needs no explanation, and it's the way Jungkook becomes completely lost in Jimin's gaze. When Jimin feels free, dancing and radiating that natural light that characterizes him, Jungkook simply stops and abandons whatever he's doing. Many people have noticed that, in those seconds, he seems to be detached from everything around him, as if the other cameras or people disappear. His gaze is fixed on a single point, and a smile appears on his face effortlessly, demonstrating that his attention is totally captured by Jimin. What we're seeing here is that exact second when someone forgets the outside world because they're too busy admiring a single person. Jungkook doesn't just look at Jimin as a companion, he observes him with a fascination that reveals his truest and deepest feelings. It's a moment of pure admiration where there are no distractions, only Jimin's presence before his eyes. This behavior is a direct sign of their relationship, because only someone who deeply loves another person would be so mesmerized, ignoring everything else so as not to miss a single detail of what Jimin is doing. These kinds of interactions confirm that there's a bond between them that can't be hidden, because it stems from a natural feeling. The fact that Jungkook stands there, still and smiling as he watches Jimin shine, tells us much more than any words they could say in front of a microphone. It's a display of pure love and pride, where it's clear that for Jungkook, Jimin is the center of his universe at that moment. Seeing these actions so seriously and directly, we understand that their connection is so strong that the whole world shrinks when they're together.